Welcome, guys, to the activity call. What we're talking about today is interviewing or recruiting and finding people that have the potential to do 50 or 60 appointments a week, but knowing that they can hit the minimum of 40. And how do you set them up in the beginning to win? Like, how do you set them up? And also, how do you pick them? How do you discern who's going to do it and who's not going to do it? I'll be a little straightforward with it, whereas when I'm interviewing a person, it's always conversational. But in my head, you can believe 100% Albright's listening to the questions. And I will vary the questions when I'm talking to different people, and I'll do it a little bit here. But I'm kind of giving the questionees, the people that I'm questioning, I'm giving them a kind of a heads up what I'm doing, but it still matters. It's just like a magic trick. Just because somebody tells you how they do it, the way they perform it, the way they act it out, the way they execute it means everything. The other thing that we have on here, I've got Ivy Wilson on and Gina Hawks. Our sales for the MedSup, Med Advantage, and all these supplemental policies, the hospital indemnity, are just skyrocketing. Ivy sent me some graphs this morning. I don't know if you can pull those up good. If you can't, to you later on in the show, just let me know if you got them. But I sent you a picture of it. It's not a. Well, you know what? How about this? How about I show it to you? How about like this? Look at this. Look at these numbers. I don't need to look at that. I mean, if you're not a mathematical wizard and you don't have an engineering degree, all right, let's look at that. You see how those are going? That is crazy talk. I mean, let's just like, what if your income was going up like that? Well, you feel like Megan would. So these numbers are real. This is evidence. So Ivy, what is the number one growth product that we have right now? Why do you think it is?
Hospital indemnity. And the reason is because COVID, the COVID landscape right now, and because COVID is not a pre-existing condition for the hospital indemnity. And for example, Megan called every lead she ever had who was in the age, 40 to 80 that could, qualify for the hospital indemnity. She called every old lead, every client, everybody, and said, hey, if you get sick with COVID, chances are you're going to go to the hospital. You need this. And I think Tawny Carey calls it COVID coverage.
So, COVID coverage. We got COVID coverage?
Yeah. Yeah. And so I think that's why. I know that's why. And people need it. I mean, it pairs perfectly with Medicare Advantage, but also for people who just need some, money for, all the out-of-pocket costs that come to hospital stays, or because they're out of work because of hospital. So yeah, it's amazing.
I like that question that she asked, that Megan asked them. Now, if you had an extra $600 a day come to you while you're in the hospital, would that help? Would that make a difference?
Right. Yeah, she's amazing
so,
at it.
Somebody like Joe Dukes be like, $600, what's that to me? But most of our clients, they're like, $600 a day?
Absolutely.
How do you say no? That wouldn't help me. That's a great question, a setup question. Gina, I see IUL sales are going through the roof also. What do you think? What's going on with people out there? How are numbers going through the roof like this?
Well, I think it's congratulations to everyone out there that are talking more about the IULs. I think it's a focus thing. There are a lot of people that are really just focused on, hey, this is an amazing product that we have that can help our clients. And there are so many people out there that this could work for to help them save for retirement that have never heard of this concept. And when they see it, they're like, why isn't everybody doing this? And we're like, yeah, that's an awesome question. You need to tell your friends. And so people are just focusing on it and looking for the opportunity. I think people are more aware that there's a huge opportunity out there. And because they're aware of it, they're talking to their clients more just in general. They're talking to them about IULs and tax-free retirement. They're talking to them about hospital indemnity and critical illness plans. And it's a focus thing. You know, what you focus on grows. And I think a lot more people are focused on that and are, just educating themselves on the product, and hopefully having myself to reach out to and book appointments with to talk to clients when they're new and not as familiar with the product and the concept, and explaining it to people. Hopefully that's helped people to get more comfortable, like they've been more comfortable selling annuities because they have BAM to help. So just that comfort level of, even if I'm brand new and don't completely understand these products, or the best way to explain them to a client. The awesome thing is, because Andy, what you do in our amazing system is make resources available to make it easy for people to learn new things, help their clients, and make money. And it's incredible. There's no other place out there where you can come in brand new to insurance, or to the insurance world, or even not new to insurance, but new to something like an IUL, and be able to go out and book an appointment with somebody when you know nothing about the product, and have people that have 20 plus years experience with these help you out, not take any of your commissions, and you can go out and help your clients learn in the process and make money. And I think that's incredible. And there's no one else but the Alliance that has that.
How about this? Is this a factor too? We come in with the best leads in the country, the cheapest leads in the country, the mortgage protection, the final expense. People put 500 clients on the books, 1,000 clients on the books, and then they're going back to them and saying, hey, you've had this product a year. It was smart. You're doing better. You're going to keep doing better in your life. They trust you. Now we show them retirement planning. Now we show them tax-free retirement. So I see it, and I'm kind of asking y'all, I see it as an explosion of people realizing the money they put in the bank the last 3 years. And then I've got Kyle and Evan and Sydney and Shanae on here, and Kadir going like, guys, the next 4 years, you could go to North Carolina State University and give them $30,000 a year and come out making what? $57,000, $67,000. Oh, you're a chemical engineer, $85,000. Oh, you're an attorney, $47,000. Or the next 4 years, you, Sydney, Kadir, get the snot kicked out of you, and you figure out a way to put 10 clients on the books a week. 500 times 4, 2,000 clients. Ask anybody on our team with 2,000 clients if they ever would take a job less than 150 to 250,000, unlimited budget and travel expense and free health. That's about the only way you're going to get them. And I don't think they do it, because I don't think they'd work 5 days a week, not to mention 6, or travel. But it's that 4 years. And then, by the way, you're smarter, you're stronger, you've got more ways to make money. We're bringing on more products every day. So that's that. I don't know. I see these people working current clients. I see Joe doing it, Marcus doing it. I see Junior doing it. Katrina in the same office as Junior. What do you think, Junior? You see that happening more and more, the retirement planning?
Andy, I'm leading with it in most cases.
You the man, Junior.
Well, I'm serious. Like in an appointment, I'm leading with it first as the first product, not as like.
How long have you been with us? How long have you been with us?
I've been with the Alliance for 9 years. Started back when I was 18.
How many clients you got? How many clients you got on the books?
1,938.
Are you hitting them?
I'm like, yes, I'm calling them, going
Talking
through.
them? You selling them
Hiring
stuff?
staff so they could interview and or put more in my calendar. Yeah.
You are? Are you selling stuff to them?
Yes, sir.
You have mortgage protection leads coming in and final expense leads coming in?
Yes, sir.
And those people you're hitting first with IUL.
Typically, yeah.
And your new clients, are you trying to convert the term products you have in place?
Yep. Because they need someone to last them forever. No sense in losing all your money.
I had a real estate agent travel with me, bought $1 million, 10-year term. I said, how many years you got left on it? He's like, 4. I was like, how's it feel throwing all that money away? He's like, huh? I said, not gonna die in the next 4 years, are you? He's like, I hope not. It's like 52. I'm like, seriously, dude? Matter of fact, who wants him? Junior, you got it. I'll send you to him. He's very interested. I'm gonna send him to you, and I'm gonna send him to Brandon Manley at the same time, because Brandon Manley met him and heard him talking about this. So I'm gonna send to you and Brandon between y'all, one of y'all lock it in. I said, don't forget, text me.
I could just call them right now.
No, you can't. You pay attention to this right now.
Okay, yes, sir.
Hey, this is a Zoom call. So Shanae, unless if you have a hat on, that would be cool. If you don't have a hat on, that'd be cool too. And Evan, we want to see you, if at all possible. In other words, turn on your video camera if you got one. All right, Evan, the training begins. Are you ready? Yeah.
Which Evan you talking to, man? You got 2 Evans on here.
Good point. Good point. I'm talking to the faucet.
I'm ready. I got my pen and paper ready.
And I want you to get up and turn that light off over your head that's shining in my eyes. Oh, shoot. You the man. Way better. It ain't perfect, but it's way better. Step in the right direction.
I need to move my desk to the other side of the room.
Something. Let me tell you this. I'm working on mine still. I got an overhead thing, but it don't cause a problem till noon 30. All right, so listen to me. First thing to write down, you don't know how you look till you get your picture took. You don't know how you look until you get your picture took. Until somebody looks at you, you don't have nobody looking at you. And until you look at you, ain't nobody looking at you. All right. Hey, Sydney. You were standing so still a while ago. I was like, did she just have a great picture of herself? Kadir, you could do the same if you want to. If you turn that light off behind you, is that light behind you up over your head? Is that light on? Is the overhead light on? If you turned it off, it'll highlight you more, I think.
Should I turn on my lamp instead?
If it was lamp in front of you, as ideal, shining back, and then the ones behind you, you want to flip those off because it comes in behind you and then we can't see your expressions. Okay, let's see. I want to show y'all some leaderboards, some numbers of people that are popping up. Ivy, I do want you to talk more about MedSup and MedAdvantage in a minute. I'm going to come back to you. We couldn't hear you that good. I thought it was my computer until people started texting me. So I don't know if it's you speaking up but we'll see when you come back on. For now, Amber, Tia, would you pull up the leaderboards and let's show some people some crazy numbers. We really, one thing what we're shooting for is we want 100 people submitting 10,000 a week minimum. These are issue paid numbers. If you notice, we had 8 people issue over 10,000 this week. Megan Wood came in with $21,200, 25 apps issued. Listen to me. This week, Kadir. This week. If you wanted to buy or sponsor, let's say you pick 10 bodybuilders and you want to give each one of them $1,000 a week, you'd have the money to do that. Now, it wouldn't be you lifting weights, but you'd have 10 people. You could put your name on it. It could be Kadir Bodybuilding. You can start selling them supplements. What I'm telling you is you got to figure out how, by the way, if Bailick can hook you up with Schwarzenegger, okay, or at least talk to you about the connection and his dad, because that was the name of that company. It's called Iron Man Magazine, and Bailick said he's more than welcome to talk to you, and Marcus has his number. Kadir's a bodybuilder. But you understand what I'm saying, Kadir? With $21,000 a week, it changes everything in your life. It changes your children's children. If you wanted to change your mama's life, you can. Anything you want to do it. 20,000 issue paid. Joseph 2 is brand new to the Alliance, and this guy is just coming on crazy strong. I'll make sure I got these names right. People that are being recognized. All right. Here we go. All right. I submitted. I want issue paid. Joe and Tony Walker, they're in the Northwest, knocked out 15,000 issue paid. 2 had 18,000. So I missed James and Jane Hill. So Jane Hill and James issued my issue numbers. Billy Crane issued 12,800. Kadir, I want to hook you up with Billy also. Every one of you young people, I want you to hear Billy's scratching out $2 grand, $3 grand, $7 grand, $1 grand, $1 grand, $1 grand, $7 grand, $1. Now the Joker's 12 grand, 12 grand, 15 grand, 18 grand. Billy Crane has made a decision to win with the Alliance. These 40 appointments, I need to get to these. I want to get to these questions. Thomas Murphy, new guy. Is showing him his ABTF. I'm curious, Tia, if you would check on that. I think he should show up under Brandon Manley. Brandon's a new agency manager. I think that's where he should show up. Actually, a guy named Guterman hired him. Jeremico Edwards, another agency manager. I'm about 90% sure. Oh, here we go. I want to make sure I got the right people. Yep, that is Thomas Murphy. Jeremico Edwards, 10,000 issue paid. Frank, who's Frank?
Andy, he is direct to Manley and Guterman.
Okay, thank you. And then Frank Chiappetta, I think that's right. Frank Chiappetta, Diane Lampy's team issued 1 policy for 10 grand. Not bad at all, Frank. If you got to sell 1, that's a good one to issue. Jerry and Cassie Burbage knocked out 19 issue paid applications, just under 10 grand. Marvin and Julissa Otsoy, we've had him on several times recently, issue paid 6 outs for 9 grand. Kelly Haney has just been killing it lately, 5 outs for 9,300. And Stephanie Rodriguez, she is my neighbor over here, and she's just killing it. Listen to this. There's a Foresters that's giving $1,000 to the best rookie. She's #1 rookie in the country, and she's passed every veteran producer in the country for Foresters production. So she's picking up $2,000 bonus at the end of this month if somebody, a veteran or somebody, don't make a decision to move up. And I'm okay with her getting it. She could use $2,000. She's game planning on renting office space and hiring staff and all kinds of crazy stuff. I love it. And she's recruiting somebody that I met out here in my backyard. I think Sunday she's getting her in class. Let's look at annuity sales. All right, there's Frank. So there's Frank's $10,000 issue paid was a $100,000 annuity. That's where it come from right there. You get 10% credit. So there's his $10,000. Jane and James had an $83,000 annuity issue. Gary Ellis got 1 issue for 50 grand. Josephine Shields Reckus picked up a 25,000 one. Brandon Ashley Bill issued 25,000 one. David Bragg out there in Denver, Colorado, part of Marcus Richardson's team. Y'all see Marcus on here. Issued 1 for 5 grand. George Kazakis, David and Linda Holt, Charlie Crittenton, and Diane Lampy picked up an annuity. All right, scroll down. Let's look at these submitted. Here's what we're talking about. 13 people submitted over 10 grand. Michael Barber, a $50,000 issue or annuity submitted. Justin Baylett, 18,000. Billy Crane, 14,000. Brandon and Ashley Bill, 18,000. Pam Moore, 14 grand. Abel Verastigi, 12 grand. Gary Philistine picked up 11 grand, 10. Gary, that is smoking, man. Gary runs a radio show It's all comes out in, I think it's Haitian. He's from Haiti. Would that be the language? So he does the whole show in Haitian. Y'all should plug people into that. He's selling like crazy from doing this video blast radio show or talk show that he does about finances, community, retirement. It's a really cool show if you know people in with a Haitian that speak the Haitian language and from that world. He speaks to them about being smart with their money. Israel Garcia, Debbie Ben come in, submitted over 10 grand. Jake and Bell Kraus, 10 grand, 25 apps, people. Terry and Tia Edwards, 10 grand. Woohoo, Terry and Tia. Chris and Courtney Long. And Chris says he's got a ton more coming. 10,000 issue pay. Let's look at the top recruiters. Here we go. This is my staff, ABTF, the blue team. I'm not sure who else on that blue team, but they're killing it. 9 direct recruits. Up. So Evan, if you'd like to pulls more than we need sermons. Make sense? We need more doing than talking, but we want to give those out. Joe 2, you see 2 up there with selling and recruiting. I'm focusing on selling. I go, you're not beating 2. I'm focusing on recruiting. You're not beating 2. How's my man beat? You know, like compete. I love people that compete. Another ABTF, there's 6 more. So there's 15 people that we're looking for a home. And Junior, didn't we give you a couple people that one of them, a couple of them? What are some numbers? We don't have to do names, but just give me the numbers they're doing.
Yeah, I've gotten 2 so far. No names, but one guy had a record week so far. He's written over $4,000, and last month he issued just under 5,000, which has been a record for previous months.
Yeah.
So, but I'm just proud of him. He's waking up earlier, going to bed later, more excited. I mean, it's cool. He's acting like a man, and I'm very proud of him. And he'll be very proud of himself if he keeps this up. Seriously, it's going to change his life. So thank you.
Thank you for helping people, man. There's more coming. We're hiring them. We're looking for good ones. Paul Roberts, and I think Tori, his daughter's killing that. Put in 5. I know he's helping, but she's killing it. Jane Bazan just keeps putting people in every week. Alex Abian put in 3. Terry and Tia Edwards put in 3. Brian Beasley, I call him my hot air guy, but he's not just hot air if he's putting in those numbers. He is a pilot, to be clear. He is a pilot of a balloon, a hot air balloon, actually multiple balloons he's qualified to fly. And he's focused here. He's selling, he's recruiting, he's building. Part of Patrick, it says Mike and Noel Leventovich. No. I'm sorry. I always give credit for Patrick Connors, but he's on Mike and Noel Levitovich's team. My bad on that one. Gus Gustavus. Way to go, man. Gus Turan. Gus and Mercedes Turan put in 2. Fitz put in 2. Austin Heater. Ooh, my boy Heater putting them in. Stephen Holly Davies put in 2. All right. Good job. All right. Let's take the leaderboard down. I've got some questions here. We don't need to put the show up. Don't put the activity thing up yet, Tia. I'm just gonna walk through these. So remember this, Junior, Joe, Marcus. First, you want to get their heart going, then you want to get their head going, then you get them saying it. And it don't have to be like, you can mix it in, but that's the whole thing we got. It's the easiest stuff. So when I'm interviewing people, I am telling you, I'm looking for a heart and I'm looking for a head. Because if I get a good heart and a good head, I can work on it. I can walk them through it. If you got a bad heart, y'all know this. I got a girl that we're dealing with. She's about 47 to 52% capacity. It is tough for her to work because the heart. So, but I'm not talking about your how strong your heart is, but I'm like the soul, the being, the person. So when I'm poking a person, I'm looking for their heart and see where they are and see if I can spark it and get their world going, and then get them thinking. My whole deal, and I know, like, I'm borderline controversial intentional, because I want people to make a mind to get off of the nail, to get off of the ordinary, to get off of the standard. I believe the alliance comes to life when people want something in their life, when they're a fighter, when they don't care, when they're on fire. I believe the country, the United States of America, is more. I love to watch those reruns of New York City, when people just, immigrants coming from everywhere, just coming in and just fighting, and they're selling hot dogs and sausage. You got your Italian group, you got your German group, you got your Polish group, the Chinese group. Everybody's crazy, just fighting to win and get ahead. And that's what I want to see in the alliance, is all this crazy diversity and people risking their life for freedom. Freedom to travel, freedom to spend money, freedom to buy cars, freedom to do anything. That's what's going to change the alliance. That's what changes our country. That's what attracts people to what you believe in. I want to tell people what I believe in. Nobody cares. You start doing something, people go, oh, what do you believe in? You want people to believe in what you believe in, or learn what you believe in? You want a soapbox? You want something to stand on and talk? Do something. So my whole goal is to get their heart and get their head. So I got questions for you that you can ask. And I want to ask some of these people these questions. And just what I want y'all to do is listen to the reactions. And rather than saying, this person went to this school, this person is this tall, this person has this much hair. Listen to the heart and the head of the person. That's what we're trying to. Nobody see, but you don't see what's in my heart. No, but I'm getting ready to ask you some questions. You don't see what's in my head. You don't know what I'm thinking. Well, I know that, but I'm ready to ask you some questions to see if I can find out. So before I get into that, Ivy, will you hit us again? MedSup, MedAdvantage. Where should we go? One, where should we go? Two? Because if we know somebody that's turning 65, listen to me, people, they've got to get MedSup or MedAdvantage. This is not like, well, I'm not sure if I'm gonna get life insurance for my children. No. You gotta get one of these. So where would we go? What's the first resource, Ivy? How to get in touch with you, on and on.
Yeah, so thank you. I'm super excited. A lot of the names that you were calling out of the leaders, I'm talking to those people. I'm working with Junior on his clients for MedAdvantage. Super excited, super fired up. Joseph. And spoken with Evan Patzer about some of his clients. So the first thing is, to be able to sell Medicare Advantage, our agents have to be AHIP certified, and that stands for America's Health Insurance Plans. It's mandated by the government. That training guide is on our website. I've posted it on Band several times. I will, absolutely. After this, I will. And then there's also a document that it's the next steps to selling Medicare products and ancillary products. And that gives you your step-by-step on, after you're AHIP certified, here's where you need to go get contracted. Here are the next steps. So those two things, and you guys need to get AHIP certified right now, because the biggest selling season of the year is coming up. It's called AEP, and it begins October 15th and ends December 7th. And if you guys wait and think you're going to do it the 1st of October and then get contracted, you're out, because there is going to be bottlenecked to get through the contracting process, and you could miss out during AEP. AEP is when people it's their annual enrollment period. They can change plans, enroll in a plan, new plans come out. We're already getting some sneak peeks about some plans that are coming out with some enhancements. It's going to be a really huge opportunity. These plans just keep getting better and better every year. So guys, make sure if you're not AHIP certified for 2021 that you do that now. That document's on our website under the Medicare Advantage tab, and it's on Band, and I'll post it again after this call. And then you have to go through and get contracted with the carriers, and that's on the next steps document that's posted. Again, I'll post it again. And I have noticed that when I'm on Zoom calls or Zoom trainings or talk with agents, obviously, they're selling more. They're uncomfortable with it at first. It's confusing, but I sit down via Zoom or the phone and talk to these agents and explain the differences. And we do it in Zoom meetings with, big groups, or we do it one-on-one if somebody's in the house. Ivy, can you help me with this client? I'm in the house. Absolutely. My booking link should be completed today. I just have to make sure all my calendars are syncing. When that is available by the end of the day, I'm going to post it on Band. I think Robbie's going to put it on the ARC so that you guys, just like Gina and Bam, you guys can link if book an appointment if you want me to help you with when you're in the home with a client. And then also if you want to set up like a Zoom training with your group, so that we can kind of go over step by steps what you need to do, questions to ask, compliance issues, things like that. First step's AHIP certification. Second step is getting contracted. Third is going to be, we're going to go over the quoting and enrollment tool and show you how easy it is. And that's it. And then you're going to start selling the heck out of these things. Paul Minichino, he is engaged now, and he is selling. He is, fired up. So you guys need to get on so Paul doesn't pass you.
Post it. Also, I'm not sure if we have started a private, nobody can get in it. You have to answer questions. Matter of fact, there's a lot of people that have applied, but they didn't answer the questions. You can't get into our private Facebook, and I like it. It's very active. So Ivy, if you're not in that, talk to Tia, get in that, and then post all this information, your phone number, same if you would, Gina, I'd appreciate that. And it's just, keep in mind, man, it's like Anheuser-Busch. That beer is good, but they advertise all the time. I don't care how good it is, you got to keep putting it in everybody's face. So Shelby Dowling is on here, and she's got appointments booked solid today. So I'm going to go to her first. Junior, would you introduce her and tell us a little bit, some good stuff about her? And I know she's pretty quick, new with us, but go ahead, Junior.
Sure. So Shelby was actually hired by Blake Christen, and so he got her hired, got her through class, and helped her get rolling. And I think she's been licensed and Shelby can tell me, I think she's been licensed maybe a week and a half, if that. I think her license just got approved. Shelby, there you are.
Shelby, be careful driving and doing this. You are very valuable to us. I need for you to be on time for your next appointment, but just focus.
That's funny. So, but we're just excited to have her on the team. She's 23 years old. She's got a boyfriend. She's got a 4-year degree. I know it's like sports massage therapy, something like that. She'll tell us. And but she's very grateful. She's got a great work ethic. She communicates a ton. She calls, she texts. She's got questions she's asking. So we're just excited. And she's already helped two families already. They're warm market. So she's done that, and she booked 8 appointments her first day dialing yesterday. So it's kind of high level, Andy.
Well, Shelby, if you can talk without looking at the camera, that would be awesome. If you can unmute. We do not want to witness. Where do you live, Shelby?
I live right outside of Savannah, Georgia, in a little town right outside of Savannah, but I'm in within reach of the big city.
Where did you go to school?
Georgia Southern University.
Georgia Southern. We used to have 2 guys down there called the M&M brothers. It was Mark and Marty. They were Georgia Southern boys. They played football. I want to say they played football down there. It's called the M&M brothers. Georgia Southern. So Shelby, I've got a couple of questions for you. And these are so the simple. Let me give you the simple question: is do you believe it's possible to do this business?
So far from what I've seen with no experience, yes.
So far from what I've seen, yes. So what I would do, that's a hard question. So what I would do to help her heart, and Sydney, you'll get why, is I would introduce Shelby to Sydney almost Bailey. Sydney Bailey. Because what you do is you grow her heart when she sees Sydney doing it or Emily Katz doing it. Somebody that would relate to keep, like, you remember we said first the heart, then the mind, then the mouth, then the do, and then repeat. So she's already qualified through all of these, but we need to make each element stronger so she don't quit. People say, oh, she's not going to quit. She's doing good. Oh, to contraire. People get discouraged. So from the heart question, can you see, this is another question to you, Shelby. This is a mind question or a C question. Can you see, which is mine, can you see a different outcome of your life, a different pattern that's going to develop versus your parents, your aunts, your uncles, other people in your life that have a standard? Can you picture it being different for you?
I can.
Okay, if a person don't think it's possible, do y'all think they can see a different outcome? So the first thing, rather than going, imagine traveling all over the country. Imagine her heart, if their heart's jacked up, what are we gonna do? So if I talk to Shelby, a question I would start with is like, Shelby, have you ever thought about kind of have a lot of money and freedom and traveling the world? Have you ever considered that?
If I ever thought about it, yeah.
Okay, here's what I get a lot. This is a deflecting answer. Everybody does. Like, I almost want to say, like, you know, the part where I said Shelby, and also there was a little word I threw in there, you. I'm going like, we have a terrible listener or a person who does not want me to see their heart. Like, they think it's a scam. They think Kadir is fake. They think Joe Dukes is fake. And they're so cynical for whatever reason in their life, or they have a terrible self-image. So, and by the way, a person can say in the beginning, well, everybody does, and they come out smoking and killing. I just ain't seen it often. Often, though, they'll lead me to somebody because this person's skeptical. They'll recommend their cousin. I ask their cousin, do you want to go rich? And they go, yeah, tell me what to do and I'm in. Tell me what to do and I'm in. Yes. Boom. We got a heart. Boom, 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 boom when they say that. So I want to keep talking to you, Shelby, but I'm not comfortable with you talking riding down the road. So if you will mute and keep listening in, we want to hear more about you. I want to ask you 100 questions. You'll hear me asking some questions, but Shelby, that's what you want to do when you're talking to friends. Say, like, do you think this is real? Like, but here's what you do is, I met this guy. He's like, he says his family escaped from Cuba and he started doing this 8 years ago, and then he's making like 200,000 or something, and he's got like 2 secretaries. And then I met another guy, Marcus Richardson, out in Denver, Colorado. He claims his family was on like welfare or getting checks, and like, is this possible? And they go, in insurance? Yeah, it's possible. Boom. See, then, so if you're fishing Kadir in a way that leads them down a path to victory. Okay. All right, let's go. We got the Fawcett brothers on here. Who, Kyle, I think Kyle, who got in first? Kyle or Evan? Kyle. Okay, well, let's go Kyle first. Okay. This is a heart question, and I'm not mincing words. I'm just going to say it. It says, do you believe that you deserve success?
Yes.
Kyle, yes?
Yes.
Why do you think you deserve it?
because I put more work in than most people I know. And during college, when everyone that I knew was out there partying, joining fraternities, I was out there working 6 days a week.
Is that paid off for you? Have you seen good things happen to you?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Like what?
Well, my income's like 5x most people I know.
So
I
let
got
me
a
ask
older
you
brother.
this. Do
So
you
we have
have,
a third faucet that's older than us, and he pretty much is the example I just gave of someone who spent his whole college just partying. And it took him 6 years to graduate, and he's just now catching on to breathing and living success.
well, tell me, what do you have? Did you say a Corvette? Do you live on your own? What's different? What do you think's different physically in your life, like material wise, that if you went the other route?
Material wise, I mean, I have a nice car, I have plenty of money in my bank account, but part of what's motivated me is I have a fiance who's very expensive, and got to make money.
I like that. Now, we're not going to talk about finding a high maintenance person that you support. However, in the back of my mind, I'm going, yes. So here's the mind question. Do you see living like that good compared to the alternative?
Yes.
Do you see this as a priority?
100%.
You see how this is, if people go like, I'm not hard to satisfy. Really? What do you prefer? Well, I know. Yeah, and they'll do that to you, Marcus. They don't try to hide it. And then you try to turn that guy into a superstar. And you put all that energy onto a person and you get frustrated. It's called, I'm burnt out from recruiting. No, what you did is you were trying to light a soaking wet log. It might have been floating in mud and water, and you're trying to light it. And your intelligence is bothering you tremendously because you don't like how much energy you're wasting for zero results. I'm trying to get you to quit wasting time by finding the right people and focusing on the right people. Let's go to Evan. These are more questions. So the head question is it a priority? Do you like the way that is? And if they're brand new, even they hadn't had results, you can still work it. But you see how I'm working it, Joe? I'm pressing it down. Okay. Let's go straight to Evan. All right. Evan, this is a hard question. Do you believe you should work this business and create a success? The simple question is, do you believe you should do this business? But I want to make it like, I want to get a yes, Junior. I'm trying to get a yes. Do you think you should? Do you think you do? One of my friends said, ought to do it. Evan Fawcett.
Yeah, I do.
You do? And then the reason I'm following up why, it's like if a person says, I feel like I need life insurance. I go, you do? Really? That's awesome. And why? Because what you want to do is you want to squeeze that pain. Okay, now to be clear, so you doing people like this, Andy, you trying to get them to do something. That's the way I do myself, Kadir. This is the way I do myself. If I said, do you believe I should do it? Like, I think about my alternatives. Yeah, I should do this business. It works. So Evan believes he should. Why do you think you should, Evan? What's your list? Give me top 2 or 3.
Well, before I even started this, I don't know if I could have answered that question the same way, but I helped a few people in my first week or two, and it felt really good to be able to get someone insurance who was struggling with it a lot before.
How good do you think it would feel to help somebody like you start seeing a dream in their life?
Amazing. I've got a friend that he's kind of in the same situation as I was, and I'm trying to get him aboard. He's like a week away from being licensed and everything. So it's going to be amazing when he's out there working and making money when everyone else is, like Kyle was saying, just frat partying.
Do you think your boy is on here watching?
Honestly, I think he's probably asleep right now, but that's all right.
Him and say, wake up, life is passing by. Wake up, life is passing by. If he says, I'm awake, then send him a link and say, jump on. Because life will go by. Junior, if you
Yeah, I
can
texted him like 4 times before and he hasn't answered yet. So we'll see.
if you send him the wake up one, wake up.
I just did, yeah.
Out of your bed, onto your feet. Out of the shade, into the heat. Ain't nobody making getting rich in the bed.
It's true.
Last part, the last one, all right. Hey, Junior, the guy that got Shelby on in recruited, get him in. Who's that? What's his name?
Blake.
Yeah, see if you can give him the link. I want to get him on. I want to see him how he talked to her.
All right.
Let's go to Kadir. And this is, well, let me come back to Evan. One more mind thing. Okay. Would you allow this to become standard in your life? Would you allow this to become a habit to where it just, you can't stop? Do you see this as a good habit to develop?
Yeah. Yeah, I've been trying to follow the 10X rule book, and it's definitely a challenge, but I could definitely see my life getting these habits and breaking old habits and just, working my ass off.
The 10X, it's the Cardone book.
Yeah, that's right.
I remember reading that. It's a great book on work ethic. He does not see young people as sitting on their derriere, does he? One of my favorite things I heard him say is, I see you've been working on your biceps. You need to be working on your billfold. You remember that? And then the guy started talking about drugs or something. Cardone was like, everybody's going to beat you. You're going to be a loser. Change. I was like, dang, my man don't care.
One of the things I thought was crazy is that he had like a real estate agent following him around for like 3 days, and the guy just couldn't keep up with him. He was like, Grant, I got to stop, man. I want to go home. I want to pet my dog and everything. And wah.
It's not a preference. It's not a priority. See, it hadn't got in the guy's head. He's in the wishing game. All right, let's go to Kadir. Yeah. Kadir, do you believe, you went with your dad, you told me you got into bodybuilding, your dad said, come on, work with me. Do you believe, given a system that works, do you believe you could copy a system that works?
I do. I would say with the right leader, yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Are you able to extract a good feeling from this habit until it gives you a sense of accomplishment? Let me kind of work with you on that, because this is kind of an academic way of saying it is. Do you think it's worth you getting into the routine of this because of the results it produces?
Yeah.
You tracking on this, Sydney? This is my son. He got into CrossFit for whatever reason. He thinks that he's willing to get into the habit of what it produces as far as outcome. So I was talking about this on Wednesday, and I hit home with some people. I got several texts. I said, there's people, they're convinced that smoking weed on a regular basis, the results that it produces is worth it for them. And I'm like, did you look ahead a week? Did you look ahead 15 minutes, 5 years? And then it's the same thing with each item that people start letting themselves do on a regular basis, whether it's lifting weights. Like, do you want that outcome? Like, I want to be healthy. Okay. I don't want to look like a bum. I don't want to look unhealthy. Okay. Like the results it produces. How about getting hooked on Netflix? Yeah. Oh my God. I've met several people that have watched Netflix and their life has certainly changed. So they allow themselves to get in this habit on purpose. But see, please help me see that you are you're allowing yourself to get in a habit. And then as a manager, you're helping a person. You say, is it okay if I get you locked into this? Like if Jeff Bright, our sociologist, got on here, he would say, Albright, he's just in a habit. He can't control himself. Hey, I see Blake got on here. Blake, you out picking up checks?
Yes, sir.
It looks like you're being copied by Shelby.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
How did you find her?
It was a job ad, I think, Indeed or ZipRecruiter, something like that.
Do you remember asking her any questions? Have you ever thought about being rich? Do you believe it's possible to do this business? Do you remember any of those hard questions like that you asked her?
I remember asking, like, what are your goals? What are you wanting to accomplish? And then kind of what she was telling me, giving her stories of like what Junior's done and kind of showing her that that is possible with us, what she was wanting to get out of this.
I want to go. I want. These are going to be posted. We'll post these questions, the mind questions and the heart questions. We'll post them on Band. We'll post them on our private Facebook. I want you guys to incorporate this into your interview questions. Not from you're not doing a check sheet. That's not going to work. You're trying to look into their heart and then help their heart, and then look into their mind. Mind needs evidence, preponderance, a bunch of evidence. Okay, so let's go to Sydney. I hadn't said anything to Sydney, and Sydney was hired by Joe Dukes. Is that right, Joe? Joe, would you introduce her and talk a little bit about her?
Absolutely. So Sydney actually was hired by Clay on your staff, and yeah. And Sydney lives here in Salt Lake, and as she was getting started with COVID, it was taking longer for people to get tested, but she just pulled in close to Blake and his team and started talking to me, and I was trying to give her as much help as I could. And then when she got her license, Clay asked if I'd give her a hand and help her out, and she's come on asking a ton of great questions. She got her first paycheck last week, which was like almost $1,400. It was awesome. I was so fired up for her. And it's just, I'm excited about her, Andy, because she's young enough to ask questions and take coaching without it being like me feeling like I'm talking to a wall. So she's asking me questions. And then, because truthfully, you and I have talked for 14 years. And I know there are times you probably felt like you're talking to a wall because you're like, this sucker's kind of old. But I was able to just, I really love her heart. And so I'm so glad that what you're talking about today is mind and heart, because this is the things that I'm seeing with the people that you have on here is the heart of a warrior.
Sydney, did we seem like we met and talked briefly, maybe twice before you got started, and then they asked me, could they move you over to Joe? Is this true?
Yeah, we've talked a couple times before.
You did some international, either ministry or helping kids or something.
Yeah,
like that.
So I've been traveling around the world teaching English and living in those countries.
Yeah. What other languages do you speak?
I'm pretty good at Spanish, and I just I can sing Twinkle Twinkle Little Star in Chinese. And I know a bit of Russian too.
I want to say DACA, but I don't know if that means anything. DACA.
I think that's German.
That's the same thing. And you know a little bit of German, apparently.
Yeah, I did take German when I was younger too.
So
I just want to touch base on all of them, I guess.
What do you think about this heart? Do you see yourself as being that person, like the heart and the head? And I mean, it's not like people automatically believe in this forever. It's not like everybody see the evidence forever, but until you get in the habit, and then it's staying in a habit. My guys, Marcus, Joe, Junior, you've heard me say this. I just want to stay on the water spout. I don't want to fall off the water spout. I feel like I'm on this water spout above the rest of the world looking. I'm going like, I don't want to get too close over here. I don't want to get too skeptical. I don't want to get cynical. I don't want to get negative. I want to keep on top of the water spout. So talk about you, Sydney, where you are on that head and heart and getting it.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for that. So I'm so excited to just keep growing my business. It's so inspiring to be coached by Joe and to be in contact with Jake and Beret, and even, watching all these and joining in on these Zoom calls. I see that it's extremely possible for everybody to be growing their business. And I know that with time and with enough effort, I can be up there and I can be on those leaderboards with everyone else.
Based on what you've done in your life, do you see you deserve success?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I know that success comes with a lot of work, and I know that I'm willing to put in all of that work to get that success.
Isn't that interesting that when people that you're talking to, when they mix deserve and work, not my daddy, not I'm from this country, I'm Spanish speaking, I deserve it, or I am 6'2" and therefore I deserve. It's everyone that says they deserve it tie into the work ethic. So if you say, I don't feel like I deserve it, guess what I would talk to you about? I go, if you get your ass out of bed and book 50 appointments a week and sleep in your car, you will not only deserve it, you will demand it. Like, let me give you something, Sydney. You go on 15 appointments and you get 12 no-shows, I want you to be mad.
Yeah.
God bless America, Joe. God's country, everything I'm mad at, including you. Why the hell is these people not there? I booked the appointments. Okay, I hear you. Let's review. How did we book them? How did we get no-show? A person mad, Evan Patzer, feels like they deserve it. When a person is passive about it and content about it, they don't feel like they deserve it, therefore they're not mad.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the more you work, the more people say, I have an agent with a terrible self-image. Get them off their ass, get them working, get them booking appointments. Well, they have a self-image, so they don't think they deserve anything. I am telling you, I've read every psychological book. I've talked to these psychiatrists and preachers. I've talked to the therapists. I've talked to the acupuncturists. Everybody says people that have a high self-image put in the work. They put in the time, overtime. They do stuff that other people aren't willing to do, and then their self-image goes up. They think they deserve it. Marcus Richardson. Kadir has a lot of potential. What's some stuff you've seen in him that make you think he's got a big heart, that make you think he's got a sharp, he comes to us with a good mind?
I love his willingness to learn, and he asks really good questions. And then not only does he ask good questions, but when he gets the information, he actually does what you're asking him to do. So if I say, Kadir, call me from the home, he calls me from the home. If I say, Kadir, let's jump on a call and go over some stuff, he makes himself available to jump on a call and goes over it. So I've never felt like, I loved how you were asking those hard questions, but I've never felt like he's been guarded. Even from day one, when we start talking to each other and getting to know each other, he's always been like an open book and willing to go and do whatever you ask him to do.
I agree. Okay. New people. Call from the home 1, 2, 3 times. If you don't get a check, you call from the home. If you don't know what to sell, you call from the home. If you think everything is done, you got the check, everything sealed, signed, delivered, call from the home. So I want to make sure they got this, does this make sense? The more hand-holding, follow-up, you get help, the more likely you're going to win. We want you to win, but we can't want you to win more than you want to win. You got to be bold and aggressive asking for help. Number one, this is to the new people. And this is some of these young guys, Blake, on here. Evan, here's what we need to do. Evan Passer, how did you do yesterday? Was yesterday we did that, or was it Wednesday we did the text dialing?
No, we did it yesterday.
Yesterday. Did you have any success with the people that you thought was going to talk to me?
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, after we got off that call, I hired 3 more people. Just in a matter of an hour of shooting out text messages.
I thought that's hilarious because you thought I was going to recruit all those people.
You knew what you were doing. I know what you were doing. I know what you were doing now. You knew what you were doing then.
I want you to do that to the Fawcett brothers.
Yes, sir.
Does that make
yes,
sense?
Sir.
Here's what we
Yes,
did,
sir.
Evan Fawcett. I'm going to tell you how we did this. This is with Patser. I had Patser, Marcus, and Brandon Manley. I think that was who I had on here. Did I have anybody else? I was working on Jeremy. I couldn't get him on. So first of all, I texted them what I texted. Matter of fact, put that little text up, Evan, to everybody. Put it on Band or our private Facebook, whatever. Let's show people we did. So I said, text this to your friends. Now, while y'all are texting, I'm going to call a girl that's got some health issues, and I want to check on her. She's a $40,000 a month producer. So I got on the phone, I talked to her, and then they said, all right, we got one. I said, all right, hold on. I said, all right, we love you. I got to go. Got to do some recruiting. Boom. What's his name? And I pulled up that phone, that part of the phone that a lot of people have never seen in a long time. It looks like this right here. If y'all hadn't seen this, it looks like this. I pulled that up, and I said, all right, cool. What's the number? And this guy was the owner of a gym that my son works out at. He's been, pulling in there with some nice cars there once in a while. And then Brandon Manley went there. So Brandon just texted me, said, this guy wants to talk. Boom, yeah. And then Evan's like, I got 2. I said, all right, nobody text anymore. I got to get to Evans. And then it was like another one that I had to talk to. Well, I'm not sure if it was Evans or Brandon got another one, but it was just like boom, boom, boom. And an hour went by. And Evan was like, I've got like 3 more. I was like, well, call them. I gotta go. I got another meeting. But what I would do, Joe, it's hard to do with one person. But if you can get 3 youngins, okay, now you got to have something to do the first 5-10 minutes while they're texting. But get Sydney to start texting people, hey, whatever that little script is, something like, hey, Bob, I'm working on a new business deal, and I thought about you. Have you got a minute to talk business? ? And then when they said yes, Brandon or Evan or Marcus would say, there's a number coming in from a 336 number, pick up. And then I would just mainly talk about how good Evan was, talk about Brandon, and I would ask hard questions and do their personality. And there's no pressure. We're just didn't one guy say he was praying, Evan?
Yeah, actually, that was that guy that I had met like 2 years ago. Hit him, immediately respond, said he was praying for an opportunity, and it was a done deal.
And he took your text as a sign from God.
That's right.
The timing of the text. Let me help y'all with this. I got a couple of religious experts on here. God's timing is now or right now. Marcus, am I right on that?
Amen.
See, your time to text these people is now or right now. Because what? The time is nigh. The time is near. Tick tock. We're only given a whiff on earth. Just like that. And it's gone by. That's why his timing is now and right now. He don't want to get a person to believe in him tomorrow or wait till Sunday. It's like right now. Right now. Business opportunities are right now. So get on the line with some of these people. Junior, I do the same thing with Blake. Blake said, he's called all those people. Good. I'm glad he has. Now we're going to text him. And take an hour. He said, well, what if I can't get to him? Tell Blake, you got to start up. Now let's go. But Blake, if you hurry, you'll get Junior talking to him. And I would encourage Mike and Noel to do the same thing. And Sydney, as soon as you get another person, we want to text dial. You don't know what people are going through. They've been harassed by their boss. He won't give them a raise. They're scared to death of COVID, or they're not scared of COVID. And they don't care if people don't wear masks. See, I don't care if people get in because they're scared of COVID or it's because they ain't scared of COVID. I just want them in. We're going to get them some COVID coverage. But if their boss, and by the way, his company, they had 2 different tire distributions. They shut down his, they left the other one open. They didn't give him the option, and they just said, good luck. And then text from Evan. As soon as you talk to him, let's go to the heart. How do you feel good? Do you think you've got a shot? You got the question. We'll put those questions up. Go to our private Facebook, go to band. We'll put those up and try to incorporate those questions. And then let's cheat on the activity, Marcus. Do that with Kadir, David Bragg, Rory, and Ariel, and other new guy you got going, and say maybe get 3 of them and say, all right, let's go. Just give them a text script and let's kill this. And by the way, we have had 2 smoking weeks of production. We had people say like, oh yeah, you got Evan and Kyle and Sydney and Junior and Shelby and Kadir. We had 38 new producers this week, new producers that look like this crowd right here. Guys, y'all got some competition, but y'all are leading, and I'm proud of you. Thank you for jumping on. Ivy Wilson, Gina Hawks, thank you for all y'all do and being available, posting your numbers up. I appreciate that. Y'all kick some butt. Let's go find some more of these guys. I love y'all. Hope this helped head, heart, and get them to say it, get them to speak it. And then when they do it, don't give up. We got to get them around that route. We got to get that loop going, baby. All right. Love y'all. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.